true, it's cutting edge. At the same time, we're 20 years too late. But it's hopeful that we're here. So I want to make 5 points. So what's next from a technological point of view? What's next for the last 5 or 10 years at the Rabobank Institute? We're going from internet to the Internet of Things. That's what next. And all these technologies we're talking about, AI or the attention economy, VR, AR, that's what we're going to. It's part of this Internet of Things, Internet of robotic things. Basically, we are living in the Internet of Things. We're living in a big robot. That's our exoskeleton. And we are steering that robot, and the robot is steering us. So that's the technology. Second point, if we talk about the Internet of Things, so going only from online to this mixed online-offline world, this mixed man-machine world, if we talk about that in a similar way as we did about the internet, things are really going wrong. They've already gone wrong in all kinds of ways. So we need this awareness, and that's a positive thing because I think the awareness has been growing very fast. We talked about information technology as a gadget for a long time. Now we're talking about it as a digital transformation, meaning that these technologies actually impact everything, our culture, the way we raise kids, everything. That's a very good thing. Why did that happen? That happened because, we had some very bad crisis experience, Cambridge Analytics, and that at the same time, AI was coming up, and that was good because actually all the ethical issues surrounding digitalization and robotics were already mapped, but nobody saw this shift from going from privacy and security to all these other ethical issues. And that happened with the AI, the global AI discussion. Now we're having a new kind of a jump in social awareness. And I think that has to do with the fact that the youth is experiencing a kind of mental crisis in all kinds of ways. Happening in Europe, has to do with COVID. It also has to do with social media, and it's also experienced in the US, and it probably has to do with this fentanyl crisis. That kind of links with that. So we have become sensitive. And if you look at, the European Parliament, yesterday we had someone from the European Parliament, but also the discussions in America about social media use. You hear that the Democrats and the conservatives in America, they can't agree about anything, but this topic they agree upon. So that's very important that we have this awareness now. That of course has resulted in the Netherlands or in Europe in making laws. And I think the next step is don't we have too much laws, and are they biting different laws, and how to implement them? So it was very good to hear yesterday that there's going to be kind of implementation check or a committee that will check on implementing these laws. That comes to my fourth point, and that has to do with, okay, but what's the meaning of these laws? And that has to do with framing. I think framing is central. Some 10 years ago, we wrote this essay, Internet Technology, the Battle for Our Body and Behavior. Why did we use the term intimate technology? Because we wanted to show that ICT has become a biotech. And if we talk about biotech, everybody knows it's close to the body and human rights are involved. But if you talk about ICT, I just said we saw it as a gadget. So that's why I think that when we started the internet, we should have had a kind of we had an Oviedo Convention when cloning was set up as a new technology, but we didn't do anything around the internet. So that's important, and I thought in this workshop a lot of these interesting framings came about, and like, okay, we shouldn't talk about the attention economy, but the distraction economy. You talked about digital cloning and digital eugenics. I think it's very important to have these type of framings so that we get a feeling about what's going on actually and what is at stake. So that's about framing, and then the fifth thing, and maybe that's also a connection with the next speaker, Evelyn, because we really have to think about the role of democracy in this hybrid man-machine world. And what I always like to say is that, okay, to think about how we make laws, we have a democratic system, and we have this trias politica, meaning we divide responsibilities, and we have checks and balances. But because, and it was stated a couple of times in this workshop, because technology has become such an important governance instrument, maybe even important at the moment than laws and regulations themselves, we have to really rethink how this trias politicas, division of responsibilities, and checks and balances should be instituted when technology and knowledge is involved. And I think that's a main challenge we have. Maybe that's a bridge for you.
Perfect bridge.